Hello and welcome to another episode of 2 Minutes with Tim here on Heavenward Thinking. Today I want to speak about recent events in our world and then give you an encouraging verse to help us through these difficult times. In John chapter 16 verse 33, Jesus says, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world." Recently we've had mass shootings, we've had economic problems, we've been going through more spikes of COVID. We've been going through all kinds of difficult situations. The present crisis in Ukraine continues to be a burden on the hearts of many. Recently, we just had the shooting in Buffalo, and then today we had a shooting in Texas, and it's getting a lot of people to be nervous, a lot of people to be afraid, a lot of people to be depressed and discouraged in the darkness of our modern world. But I'm reminded of the words of Jesus here in John chapter 16. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. When we are going through difficult times, when we are discouraged by current events, when we are overwhelmed by the things of this world, it is important for us to have a heavenward thinking perspective, to look to Jesus as the answer, because nothing in this world will truly answer the questions we have. Nothing in this world is going to fix things. We can try to implement things politically, we can try to do things socially, we can try to address different needs in the world, but we are never going to have true peace unless we turn to the author of peace, which is Jesus Christ. So we look at scriptures like these in John chapter 16 and we see that God is still with us, that even though things may look like they are out of control in our modern world, we're able to look and see that God is still on the throne. He is still in control, and he's going to work all things together for good. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to have disappointments. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have heartbreak like many of us have, so many of us have today, as we look at the world and the chaos and the broken hearts and the lives lost, and we look at all the trouble in our world. Yet we're able to, even with all that trouble, look to Jesus and find comfort in his holy words in Scripture. We're able to see that God understands what we are going through. Jesus suffered immensely for us, more than we could possibly imagine. So he knows our human emotions. He knows what we go through on a day-to-day basis. And yet we're able to be comforted by him because he already overcame the world. And since he overcame it, he gives us this promise that we will have peace one day, that he has already overcome the world. So I want to encourage you this week to look to Jesus as your source of comfort and your source of hope, and very importantly, your source of peace in this dark world. Join us next time for another episode of 2 Minutes with Tim here on Heavenward Thinking.